like, there's so much to say.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Discourse featuring me, DJ Tomiwa. This is the series where we discuss all things DJing and music, and today we're going to be discussing some DJing stuff in regards to pricing. This video is going to be the first of two parts discussing DJs pricing. Okay, so why do DJs charge, and also how should they charge? Essentially just talking about some of the financial aspects of DJing. Now, I was going to make the second part on its own in terms of how DJs should charge, but then I realized actually this is actually very much intrinsically linked to why DJs charge. But I'm here to hopefully reveal a bit more today about why DJs charge. Okay, so the number one aspect about why DJs charge is because of equipment. And a lot of people don't really know this, but DJ equipment is super expensive. I'm speaking from the perspective of a mobile DJ, which means that when you book me for your event, I'm going to bring all of the equipment needed to provide sound for your event. This means speakers, and professional mobile speakers that will do a crowd of a few hundred will usually go for about £1,000 each, just for example. There's two types of speakers. There's loudspeakers, which will basically make the music loud, and there's subwoofers that provide the bass, which are actually even more expensive. Obviously, you need to connect these speakers to your decks. They need to provide wires, and obviously the decks themselves can cost hundreds of thousands of pounds. As well as those connecting wires, you'll also need power plugs. To connect those power plugs, you're going to need extensions, and you need extensions of various lengths depending on the size of the venue. Microphones, they can range from £100 to like £1,000 or whatever, depending on the quality. And you also need adapters as well to make sure that in case there's any extra bits that need to be added, they can be added efficiently. I mentioned decks, and you'd also potentially need a mixer as well to make sure that all the different musical elements can go smoothly through the speakers and it sounds nice. You also need storage devices for all these things, and again, suitcases or whatever you want to use are very expensive. And I haven't even mentioned laptop, and a lot of DJs will use MacBooks, for example, which obviously are very expensive. I personally don't, but even still, you need to make sure that you get a laptop that's sufficiently stable. And of course, you also need USB and storage devices. Some DJs will take their storage device with them when they go to events, so they don't have to carry on a laptop. And sometimes the laptop can even become full from too much music or too much files, so that's why it's useful. And of course, you can't conduct a DJ business without a mobile phone, so it's something that you definitely need to have. A lot of DJs like to have an extra mobile phone to deal with clients, for example. So all of those things, you know, will probably come to thousands of pounds easily, even for your most beginner DJ. However, I haven't even spoken about backups or replacements or maintenance of all of these things, because all of these things don't last forever. So every now and then when it becomes faulty, you're going to need to make sure that you replace it. And of course, if you're a client, the last thing you want to hear is, oh, you don't have a backup if something fails. Everything that I said, basically, you need to have a backup for as well. And of course, some DJs do not have some of this equipment, so they need to hire it if they need it. Pack testing, which is electrical testing, and public liability insurance, which a lot of venues will require. So DJs need to make sure that everything's insured and everything's tested, which again costs money. And I haven't included extras outside of DJing that DJs can often provide, such as lighting or dance floors or photo booths, etc. So that's just equipment. Of course, you can't just DJ with just equipment, you need software as well. DJing software, professional DJing software. I've got Virtual DJ, I paid about £200 for it, and that gives me a license that lasts for a lifetime. Man, that's a tongue twister. Of course, music as well. I'm talking about the actual MP3 files, which most DJs use these days. A lot of clients forget this, but at your typical event, you're going to play like maybe 100 songs plus, right? And that music will come from somewhere. Usually, if the DJ wants the most quality version of those songs, they'll pay for it. A lot of DJs subscribe to DJ pools, for example, where they're able to get the latest music through that special provider, but they have to pay for it monthly. So it's something to bear in mind. Transport is another big one that people don't think about. Some people think, oh, you've got your car, you can just drive yourself there, it's that simple. Well, firstly, my car costs money, and then I have to pay for car insurance as well. And obviously hiring a car is expensive. Obviously getting Uber or cab is expensive. For me in particular, I have my own car, but if I have a particularly big booking, then I need to hire a van. So if you're having an event that's maybe 500 or 600 people, I'm gonna have to bring extra equipment, which means I'm gonna have to hire a van to take everything. And also staff. Some DJs have teams or staff that they work with. Especially if the event is particularly big, then they're gonna need staff to help them out, some extra hands. For me personally, I don't have staff, but if I have a particularly big event, I might ask one of my brothers or a friend to help me out. But I'll still try and give them some money afterwards, because at the end of the day, it's their time and effort that they're using. And I haven't even mentioned labor. And of course, you know, you might think of it as, oh, it's still not a big deal, you just carry some speakers. But honestly, your event might be, say, 4 hours. To you, you're thinking it starts at 12, it finishes at 4, for example. But for the DJ, that might actually be like 10 to 6 or 7, because setting up equipment takes a long time. Imagine it now. I've got my speakers in my house. I need to go and offload all of them carefully into my car to make sure I don't break anything or scratch anything in my car or in my walls of my house or on the speaker itself. Then I've got to drive it all the way to the event, unload all that stuff, arrange it within the venue, and it's just all long, it's tiring. And it's something you need to bear in mind, because like I said, the bigger the event, the more the labor you need to do and the more time it takes up from you as well. And time is probably one of the most crucial things that is so intangible, and most people don't really look at it that way. But honestly, as a DJ, it's so painful to give up so much time. I'll give you an example. Let me ask you, yeah, what's your favorite day of the week? What's your favorite day to enjoy yourself, to have fun, to relax? It's Saturdays, right? DJs, we like Saturdays too. We like our Saturdays too, honestly. But that's the day we have to work the most. And every Saturday that you give up, you're giving up time to relax or spend time with your family. Especially a lot of DJs obviously have 9 to 5, so they work Monday to Friday. So you're giving that personal time to your client. For me personally, I don't know how many events my friends or my loved ones or my family have done that I've had to miss or be late to because of DJing. I remember my best friend's engagement party, I missed most of it because I had a gig that day and I couldn't get out of it. I didn't want to disappoint my couple. And that's just the sort of thing they have to deal with. So imagine now I finished my event and at 12 o'clock at night, I'm having to drive across London to still see my friend and make them know that I actually do appreciate them. That's some of the struggles that you have to deal with as a DJ. And it is hard, I'm not gonna lie. And that's not even including the time that you have to spend corresponding with clients, dealing with inquiries, doing consultations before events, chasing up vendors to make sure that you're all good to work together. It takes up a lot of your time, honestly. And these are things that we have to think about when we're setting our prices. Also experience, okay? And experience / expertise is such a big one, honestly. I can't emphasize it enough. Even if you have all of these things, you can work hard, you can carry speakers, you've got equipment. There's no substitute for experience. Knowing actually what to do, when to play certain songs, how to play them, how to interact with guests, all of these things you build from hundreds and hundreds of gigs. You spend countless hours researching music, listening to it, queuing it up, getting it ready to play, putting it into playlists. And when you've put so much energy into a skill, you need to make sure you're well compensated for it, because you're going to be looking at your peers as well and see how much he or she is charging, and you're going to want to be well compensated for your abilities. And the absolute final reason why DJs charge, fam, they want to make profit. We want to make money. We've got bills to pay, okay? So what I mean by this is you have to factor in all of those things like I've said, and you don't want to just come out even or take a loss. You actually want to make money. You actually want it to be profitable. Some money you're going to invest back into a business. Some money you actually just want to just take home and pay bills. You want to save up. You want to have something at the end of the day to show for your effort. Just to be a little bit cheeky, I'm going to give some examples of things that are not acceptable substitutes for money, okay? Because some people seem to think that, you know, it's okay for a DJ not to be paid or to be paid less on account of some of these things. Number one is exposure, guys. Exposure is really nice. We love that you're going to recommend us to all your friends. We love that you're going to post us on your social media. That's great. But you can do that and also pay. That's the thing. All of my paid events, they do the same thing. You know what I mean? So exposure is not acceptable, especially when, if you think about it from the client's view, they've heard about you because of your exposure. They've heard about you because of your reputation, which speaks for itself. So why would they now go and use that against you? That to me doesn't make any sense whatsoever. Please never ask a DJ to reduce their price or do an event for free because of exposure. It's a good way to upset DJs. It's like, imagine if you went to McDonald's and they said, oh yeah, how do you want to pay? Cash or card? And you said, oh no, I'm going to tell all my friends about McDonald's. I'm going to tell them to come. So just give me a discount or do it for free. It doesn't work like that, you know what I'm saying? A second unsuitable alternative for money is fun or joy. Some people think that DJs just do DJing because it's fun, they enjoy it, they play music, people are happy. And with some DJs, I'll agree, this is actually the case. Some DJs aren't really trying to do it for money, they're just doing it as a hobby or for fun, right? But honestly, DJing is not as fun as you think it is. I can't emphasize this enough. Yes, it can be fun, but honestly, for me personally, I don't find DJing that fun. It's a job, it's work. And it really does feel like it when you're carrying speakers back and forth. So it's not always that simple, guys. We don't just do it for fun. We've got bills to pay. And those bills, they're not interested in fun. They're not fun at all. And the last thing I'll mention is food, okay? Yes, food is nice. DJs do appreciate food. but we don't DJ for food. So please never ever say to a DJ, oh, if you reduce your price, we'll give you food. That's not the right thing to do. But yeah, I thought I'll just touch on that topic today, guys, in terms of why DJs charge. Did you find it interesting? Were you surprised by the amount of things that I drew out? Did you think I missed anything important? Please let me know in the comments below. I would love to hear your thoughts. In my next video, I'll be discussing how DJs should charge in terms of whether they should use a flexible approach or a fixed approach. But yeah, don't forget to like and subscribe. I hope you've learned something new. I hope these are things you're going to bear in mind next time you ask a DJ for a quote. But yeah, until next time with Discourse, thanks and stay blessed.
Let the beat ride, baby, you'll see why I got so much to say.